When you click on this video, you probably have a crush on a woman and are constantly thinking about her. But what if you could turn the tables and shift her mindset from responding to you whenever she feels like it to obsessively thinking about you and waiting for your response? Today we'll show you 3 hacks so simple that you'll kick yourself for not trying them sooner. In fact, these hacks are so effective and time-tested that they will work for women of all ages. However, use these hacks with caution because they can be extremely powerful, and you may find that the person you were once chasing is now relentlessly pursuing you. We'll dive into the psychological minds of women and show you exactly what will pique their curiosity and ensure that you have her obsessed with you. We'll delve into the intricate workings of the female psyche and unveil precisely what will spark their curiosity, ensuring that you capture her full attention and fascination. If you find the subject matter of this video intriguing, please leave a comment with OK. Conversely, if you don't, please comment your opinions to let me know so I can make better videos in the future. Actually, we first need to address something that men frequently overlook: emotional connection. Before I reveal the powerful hacks, you should understand what emotional connection is and how it affects women. As men, we tend to focus on the practical and enjoyable aspects of life. Men generally want to have fun, get out of the house, and go on adventures. We also believe that we must pay substantial sums of money for dates. But delving into the female psyche, you'll quickly find that none of this matters to her. In fact, she'll just enjoy the ride and then call the person who has formed an emotional bond with her when she returns home. However, you must be the one who establishes the emotional connection as well as the person to whom she relates emotional events and specific feelings. Basically, any emotion, even negative ones, will result in an obsession that far outweighs the pragmatic adventure and fun that you attempt to portray. Creating this emotional connection is actually quite simple. You can establish this type of connection by focusing your interactions on eliciting her emotions toward you. Keep in mind that this does not mean you should let her throw all of her problems at you. Rather, you should be the one to bring out an emotion that she wishes to share with someone else. The bad boy stigma, which we all see every day, is an excellent example of this. You see, the bad boy usually pulls her close before pushing her away. He becomes inconsistent after making commitments, which causes disappointment for her, but also elicits an emotional response. Now, you shouldn't necessarily portray the bad boy, but eliciting some emotional reaction toward you, whether good or bad, will undoubtedly make her think of you much more. So, as we dive into this guide, you should understand that women are far more emotional than men, and it's important to trigger emotional responses when possible. Number 1. Be unpredictable. The most appealing aspect of this guide's hacks is their unpredictable nature. In fact, it will keep you attractive in her eyes throughout the relationship and prevent any connection from fading. However, being unpredictable should not be overused, as it may have the opposite effect. Women enjoy adventure, and while many people may argue that they prefer stability and predictability, nothing beats an unexpected adventure that turns out to be wonderful. It's also worth mentioning that unpredictability shouldn't be interpreted as breaking her trust or making her doubt whether she can count on you. When referring to unpredictability, it relates to surprises and keeping things positive. For example, you can randomly show up at a club she's going to, or you could surprise her at work with gifts or just your physical presence. This will keep the excitement going, and since few men are willing to do this, it gives you an edge. Since boredom is at an all-time high due to all the stimulation we get through social media and technology, keeping the relationship interesting can be daunting for some people. But positively, being unpredictable and full of surprises will break the stimulation pattern of modern technology and life. Number 2, mystery is the key. You've probably seen at least one of the Batman films and noticed how he creates an air of mystery around himself. You see, the human brain is fascinating, and we are constantly seeking answers to questions. Bruce Wayne never reveals too much about himself. In fact, he rarely shows anything but his home and expensive cars. His night job allows him little free time to spend with a woman because he can't reveal where he spends his time. Women are intrigued and continue to admire him, hoping that if they spend more time with him, he will reveal more about himself. But there's a lot we can learn from Batman, and the fact that he keeps his life mysterious is one of the biggest reasons that women flock to him. Fortunately, you don't have the secrets of Batman that could make the difference between life and death, but you can create a mysterious persona, and it isn't that hard. One of the first things you should do is to learn to talk less, especially if it's about yourself. You don't need to reveal every aspect of yourself and your personality to a woman, and this is the same for your social life and your hobbies. If she's into you, she'll automatically start questioning these things. By keeping a mystery and revealing tidbits of information occasionally, you'll just feed her curiosity enough for her to continue coming back again and again in the hopes of learning something new. The curiosity will become a valuable thing that should keep the two of you connected. But the flip side is an attraction killer. You see, men tend to reveal every mystery about themselves, and this allows her to draw conclusions and determine that you're not the type of guy she wants before she even gets to know you. However, the mystery approach will give her time to get to know the type of person you are, and if the two of you don't have any common ground, you'll still be attractive in a way she can't explain. Number 3, mutual interest can create trust and attraction. Now, you must understand that simply being mysterious has a timeline. To use Batman as an example, his mysterious personality will eventually force the other person to move on, significantly reducing your attraction to each other. You see, after you've established that initial attraction, the goal is to find something you both enjoy doing and discussing. This can include hobbies, dreams, or aspirations, but she should feel as if she has met someone with whom she can connect on a level that she cannot with others. Once the woman establishes that you're the one that she feels at one with, she'll crave the feeling she experiences when she's around you. In fact, she'll be the one making plans and trying to be around you as much as possible. But to establish mutual interests, you need to get to know her and understand what she likes to do and experience in life. This will give you the opportunity to sift through your own interests and find out what would be common ground. However, you should be aware that faking it will only lead to temporary success, and if there's no common interest, you should cut her off. In fact, cutting her off, or even walking away, can be a move often referred to as reverse psychology. You see, if you pull away when the interest is still high, she might even show interest in your hobbies and interests, which means she's willing to find common ground. Once this happens, you'll have her thinking about you non-stop, and she'll forever associate this interest with you at an emotional level. Now, keep in mind that you don't overdo it, and remember that less is more. The unpredictability will keep her guessing, and she'll constantly think about you, wondering what's next and which move you're going to make. You might even find that she becomes unpredictable and full of surprises as well, which will lead to more excitement and fun. Surprisingly, this is all there is to it. You don't have to be a billionaire or resemble Brad Pitt to pull it off. She'll be drawn to you just by being mysterious and allowing her to do more work to figure out who you are. Once you've revealed enough about yourself, you should be able to find common ground and share interests. This will make her feel like you're the one, and she won't want to let go. Finally, being unpredictable will keep her guessing. Combining these 3 hacks will make you the most attractive and unique person she's ever met. However, there is more to women, and the dating scene can be intense. Make sure to stick around and watch some of our other videos to unravel the female mystery for yourself. Imagine harnessing a secret power, one that's been revered by Stoic philosophers for centuries. Today, we uncover that power: silence. In this video, we'll explore 6 critical life situations where staying silent isn't just a choice but a necessity. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, teaches the art of living through wisdom and virtue. Central to this wisdom is the practice of silence. Let's discover why silence is more than just a lack of words, but a strategy for resilience and strength. Situation 1. When anger strikes. This is a familiar scenario for many: the rise of anger, the impulse to immediately respond. The Stoics, however, offer a different approach, one that emphasizes control over emotions rather than being controlled by them. When anger emerges, the instinct might be to unleash a flood of words, often ones we might regret later. The Stoics suggest a different course: a pause, a moment of silence. This silence is not a sign of passivity, but rather a deliberate act to regain control over the situation. In this silence lies a unique power: the ability to process our emotions, to delve into the true root of our anger. Is the anger really about the present situation, or is there an underlying issue? This period of reflection can be illuminating. It helps in avoiding conflict escalation and in preserving relationships that could be harmed by rash words. Silence in the face of anger is also an act of self-respect. It is about maintaining inner peace and not letting external events disrupt your mental state. The Stoics were advocates of focusing on what we can control: our reactions and our mindset. Choosing silence in these moments is not an indication of weakness, but a display of strength. A strength that transcends the fleeting satisfaction of expressing anger. Moreover, practicing silence in moments of anger is a journey towards wisdom. Each instance where we opt to stay silent rather than react in anger teaches us more about ourselves, our triggers, and how to manage them better in the future. This skill, once honed, not only brings peace to our lives, but also positively influences those around us. Therefore, the next time anger grips you, think of the Stoic way. Take that deep breath, embrace the silence, and let it guide you towards a response that is in harmony with your true character and values. This approach to handling anger not only aligns with Stoic philosophy, but also offers a practical method for navigating one of life's challenging emotions. Situation 2. Confronted with gossip. Gossip is a common element in social interactions, but it presents a unique challenge from a Stoic perspective. The Stoics, known for their emphasis on virtue and character, viewed gossip as a destructive force, not just for those who are the subject of the gossip, but also for those who engage in it. When confronted with gossip, the Stoic approach is to maintain silence. This is not about avoidance, but rather a conscious decision to not participate in a conversation that can harm others. Engaging in gossip is often seen as a harmless way to bond or share information, but it can have unintended consequences. It can damage reputations, strain relationships, and create an environment of mistrust. But the impact of gossip goes beyond its effect on others. It also affects the character of the person who gossips. The Stoics believed in living a life of integrity, where one's actions are in alignment with their values. Gossiping can be a deviation from this path, as it involves speaking about others in a way that is not truthful, kind, or necessary. By engaging in gossip, a person compromises their own principles and integrity. Moreover, the Stoics saw the act of gossiping as a missed opportunity for personal growth. Instead of spending time discussing others, they advocated using that time for self-improvement, learning, or engaging in meaningful conversations that enrich the mind and spirit. Therefore, the Stoic response to gossip is rooted in the philosophy of self-control and virtue. By choosing silence in the face of gossip, one not only prevents harm to others but also upholds their own character. This choice reflects a commitment to personal integrity and a life led by Stoic principles. In essence, avoiding gossip is not just about keeping away from idle talk. It's about maintaining a standard of behavior that is consistent with the Stoic pursuit of wisdom and virtue. It's a practice that reinforces the importance of focusing on our actions and words, ensuring they contribute positively to our lives and the lives of those around us. Situation 3. When you lack knowledge. In the Stoic view, wisdom is among the highest virtues, and part of wisdom is knowing the limits of one's knowledge. The Stoics teach the value of silence, especially when it comes to speaking on matters where one lacks understanding or information. This approach is not just about avoiding false statements, but it's also a demonstration of humility and the willingness to learn. In situations where you find yourself uninformed, the Stoic practice is to remain silent. This is more than just refraining from contributing to a conversation. It's an acknowledgement of one's own limitations and an expression of the desire to learn. By not speaking on matters we don't fully understand, we avoid the potential spread of misinformation and the risk of misleading others. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches that pretending to know something we don't is a form of self-deception that can hinder personal growth. Acknowledging ignorance is the first step towards acquiring knowledge. In this respect, choosing silence when uninformed is not a sign of weakness or ignorance, but rather a sign of strength and wisdom. It shows a commitment to truth and a respect for the value of accurate knowledge. This humility in acknowledging what we don't know also opens the door to learning. It creates an opportunity for others who are knowledgeable to share their insights and for us to learn from them. In this way, silence becomes a tool for personal growth and intellectual development. Additionally, this practice of remaining silent when uninformed is empowering. It frees us from the pressure to always have an answer or an opinion. It allows us to be comfortable with not knowing, which is a key aspect of intellectual humility. This comfort with uncertainty can lead to a more thoughtful, reflective, and considerate approach to learning and speaking. In essence, the Stoic approach to situations where one lacks knowledge is not just about maintaining silence, but about valuing the pursuit of wisdom. It's a practice that respects the complexity of knowledge and celebrates the process of learning. By embracing this approach, we align ourselves with the Stoic virtues of wisdom, humility, and intellectual integrity. Situation 4. In the midst of conflict. Conflict is an inevitable part of human relationships, but the way we handle it can make a significant difference. Stoicism, with its focus on inner tranquility and rational thinking, offers a unique approach to conflict resolution: the use of silence. This isn't about simply not speaking, it's about using silence strategically to de-escalate tension and promote understanding. In conflicts, emotions often run high, and words spoken in the heat of the moment can exacerbate the situation. The Stoics teach that in such moments, silence can be a powerful tool. By choosing not to respond immediately, we give ourselves time to process our emotions, step back from the heat of the conflict, and approach the situation with a clearer, more rational mindset. This pause can prevent the conflict from escalating and can create a space for calmer, more constructive communication. Moreover, silence in conflict is a form of active listening. It signals to the other person that you are taking their perspective seriously and considering it thoughtfully. This can foster mutual respect and understanding. Even in the midst of disagreement, it shows that you value resolving the conflict more than winning the argument. Stoicism also teaches that conflicts often arise from misunderstandings or differing perceptions. By remaining silent and listening, we can gain a better understanding of the other person's viewpoint and the underlying issues that may be fueling the conflict. This understanding is key to finding a resolution that is satisfactory to all parties involved. Furthermore, employing silence in conflict situations reflects self-control, a core Stoic virtue. It demonstrates the ability to control one's impulses and to act in accordance with reason rather than emotion. This self-control not only helps in resolving the immediate conflict, but also contributes to personal growth and the development of stronger, more resilient relationships. In essence, the Stoic use of silence in conflict is about creating an environment where resolution is possible. It's a practice that values rationality, understanding, and respect, and aligns with the Stoic principles of wisdom and virtue. By embracing this approach, we can navigate conflicts in a way that is constructive and harmonious, staying true to our values and fostering positive outcomes. Situation 5. The art of listening. Are we listening? Once you start observing conversations, you'll quickly recognize that most people are terrible listeners. Even if they ask a question, they're often not patient or aware enough to listen to your answer. Before you can finish what you're trying to say, they'll try to interpret what you're saying, give advice, or say something from their own life, whatever comes to their mind. If you're lucky, they'll let you finish one sentence. And when you take a short break to think about how to express best what you're trying to say, they'll jump in. They take advantage of your pause, and off they go. Good listeners are rare. Maybe that's why we pay so much money for therapists, so we have someone to truly listen to us. Often, that's enough for us to figure out our own problems. When we get to speak, we're able to bring order to our thoughts, and suddenly we realize what's been causing our struggles. Maybe that's why the Stoics advised us to listen intentionally, because that helps the other person. That's what many people need, someone to truly listen to them. Acquire the habit of attending carefully to what is being said by another, and of entering, so far as possible, into the mind of the speaker. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations 6:53. That should go without saying, but whenever we listen, we should pay attention to what's being said so we can actually understand what the speaker is trying to express. The goal when you enter a conversation is to understand what the other person wants to tell you. You listen with the intention to understand. That's called empathic listening, and it'll massively improve your relationships. Back to Stoicism, a philosophy deeply rooted in self-awareness and personal growth, places great emphasis on the importance of listening over speaking. This perspective champions the idea of silent, active listening as a transformative tool in personal and interpersonal development. The Stoics understood that true communication involves much more than just expressing one's own thoughts and opinions. It requires the ability to listen actively and attentively to others. Silent listening isn't merely the absence of speech, it's an active engagement with the speaker. This form of listening allows us to fully absorb what is being said, understand the nuances of the conversation, and respond thoughtfully. Active listening in silence involves several key elements. First, it requires giving full attention to the speaker, free from distractions or the urge to formulate a response while the other person is still talking. This level of attention demonstrates respect and value for the speaker's perspective, fostering a deeper level of dialogue and understanding. Secondly, silent listening involves observing non-verbal cues, such as body language and tone of voice. which are often as important as the words being spoken. This helps in understanding the full context of the message and the emotions behind it. Additionally, Stoicism teaches that listening is an opportunity for learning and personal growth. By listening silently, we open ourselves to new ideas, perspectives, and knowledge that we might miss if we were too eager to speak. This approach reflects a humble acknowledgement that we do not have all the answers and that there is always more to learn. Furthermore, the practice of silent, active listening can transform relationships. It builds trust, empathy, and a deeper connection with others. When people feel heard and understood, it creates a foundation for open, honest, and supportive interactions. In essence, the art of listening, as taught by Stoicism, is not just a communication skill, it's a life skill. It involves embracing silence as a space for understanding, empathy, and connection. By cultivating the practice of silent, active listening, we align with the Stoic values of wisdom, self-improvement, and harmonious living, enhancing both our personal lives and our interactions with others. Situation 6. Facing critical decisions. In the realm of Stoicism, the act of making decisions transcends mere practicality, serving as a profound reflection of one's philosophical principles. The Stoics esteemed silence not just as an absence of words, but as a fertile ground for introspection, essential for arriving at thoughtful and considered decisions. When confronted with critical decisions, the Stoic practice of embracing silence provides an invaluable moment to step back from the immediacy and pressures of the situation. This intentional pause is not an act of procrastination or avoidance. Rather, it is a deliberate choice to cultivate mental space for reflection. In this quiet interlude, individuals can disentangle themselves from the emotional tumult and external influences that often cloud judgment. It allows for a serene detachment where one can weigh options, contemplate potential consequences, and ensure that each decision aligns harmoniously with one's core values and principles. The Stoics believe that emotions, though an intrinsic part of the human experience, should not dominate our decision-making processes. By fostering periods of silence, they advocated for a clarity that transcends the immediate impulses driven by intense emotions or external pressures. This reflective silence nurtures rational and objective thinking, enabling individuals to act with wisdom rather than reacting impulsively. Moreover, this practice is an exercise in self-awareness. It involves a deep examination of one's motivations, desires, and fears, providing insights into the internal drivers that influence decisions. The Stoic emphasis on self-knowledge is pivotal. They taught that true wisdom begins with an understanding of oneself, and that wise decision-making naturally flows from this foundation. In addition to fostering personal clarity, the Stoic approach to decision-making through silence also promotes responsible and ethical choices. This reflective process encourages individuals to consider the broader impact of their decisions, including the effects on others and society at large. Such contemplation aligns with the Stoic principle of living a virtuous life, one that contributes positively to the common good. Thus, the Stoic use of silence in the face of critical decisions is not merely a tactical pause, but a profound strategy for cultivating wisdom and virtue. By harnessing the power of reflection, individuals can navigate the complexities of life with a steadfast commitment to their philosophical ideals, ensuring that their actions resonate with integrity and thoughtful deliberation. This approach underscores the Stoic belief that silence, far from being a void, is a space teeming with potential for growth, understanding, and enlightened decision-making. So as you embark on this path, do so with mindfulness and integrity. Make these strategies your allies, but let your character be your guide. Thank you for investing your time with us. As you step forward, remember that the most significant priority is to live a life true to yourself, with wisdom, courage, and a sense of Stoic serenity. Until the next time.